Pratham was created in 1994 to provide preschool education to the underprivileged children in the city of Mumbai. Madhav Chavan and Farida Lambe co-founded Pratham with support from UNICEF and the Mumbai Municipal Corporation. Together, they built a grassroots team around a simple mission: every child in school and learning well. Today, Pratham is India's largest non-governmental organization in education, working in 20 states across India and reaching over 1.5 million children annually. Pratham's primary objective is to improve the quality of education. We accomplish this in three major ways. First, we track gaps in children's learning. Then, we create and test low-cost solutions. And finally, we work with state governments to scale up our programs and to change policy. In 2005, Pratham launched a nationwide study, the Annual Status of Education Report, or ASER. ASER showed that over half of the fifth graders could not read at a second grade level. ASER helped shift the focus in primary education from just enrollment to learning. Subsequently, in 2007, we launched Read India. The Read India program teaches reading, writing, and basic arithmetic skills to children aged 6 to 14 through after-school instructions. The Read India methodology was rigorously evaluated and proven to be effective. It was also easily replicable. We reached over 33 million children in 3 years. We now have a proven method for delivering primary education at low cost, and we now need the resources, financial and human, to reach the 100 million children in India who cannot read or write. Rather than build schools, Pratham partners with local schools and community stakeholders, including the government, to multiply our impact. I'll give you an example. We piloted learning camps in Jehanabad, a rural district in Bihar. The program identified 16,000 children in grades 3 to 5 who were struggling in school. Through intensive coaching, we helped them to improve, with major improvements in both reading and math in just 3 months. Government officials were delighted, and they have asked Pratham to lead a rollout of the program across the entire state. Working at this large scale enables us to affect policy as well. The ASER study, where we test 600,000 children across India each year, is one of the largest of its kind in the world. The findings are often cited by education policy experts and have had a major influence on governmental strategies and spending. Pratham continuously innovates and refines our programs, incorporating feedback from both internal and external partners. Our programs are designed and run in collaboration with the local communities, allowing for cultural and regional differences. We also constantly innovate to help address gaps in the educational system. For example, since 2008, Pratham has expanded its focus to include young adults, training them in vocational skills so they can join the workforce. In collaboration with industry leaders, Pratham has piloted training programs in soft skills like communications, as well as industry-specific services like hospitality and construction. Our partners have included the Taj Group of Hotels, Larsen & Toubro Construction, and Tata Motors. Pratham's focus is to create quality programs at large scale. Every program is evaluated on 4 dimensions: learning outcomes, cost effectiveness, scale, and replicability. We test children before and after enrollment to measure learning. We also work with independent organizations for external evaluation. For example, the MIT Poverty Action Lab has conducted and published findings from 10 randomized trials of Pratham programs over the last decade. Finally, we are conscious of scale and cost effectiveness. Pratham closely monitors the number of children reached by each program and its associated costs. For example, our Read India program costs just $10 per child per year. A common misconception is that small donors cannot have a meaningful impact on an organization as large as Pratham. This is absolutely not true. Although we reach millions of children, our overhead is very low. 94% of every donated dollar goes directly to programs. Secondly, our model of training volunteers and teachers in Pratham techniques ensure that we maximize our reach at a minimal cost. And finally, many of our new programs have come about because of specific donor support. So you absolutely can make a difference. Pratham has had some major policy successes because of ASAR and Read India. The Indian Constitution has been amended to give children a fundamental right to education and learning, and outcomes are added as a requirement in India's formal 5-year plan. These measures are actually being funded through a 2% national sales tax to support primary education. ASAR is also having an international impact. Several developing nations in Asia and Africa have adopted it for their assessment and reporting. Pratham's focus on large-scale solutions can limit the emotional connection that our donors have with beneficiaries. Many donors reside in the US, so they don't always get a chance to observe the programs firsthand, so it's sometimes a challenge to keep them engaged. Also, while it's been an effective strategy to utilize government resources rather than replacing them, this model is subject to political changes. We attempt to reduce this risk by working at multiple levels, but it remains a challenge. More than a third of India's population is under the age of 15, with over 25 million children unable to read. With additional resources, Pratham would expand our programs beyond the 1.5 million children that we reach each year. It would also enable us to continue to develop new programs like our vocational training program and our open school, which give children, especially those who have dropped out of school, a chance to complete their education. Additional resources would also support further testing and refinement of these models, as well as allow their expansion. Indian industries are growing rapidly, but there is a lack of skilled workers to keep up with demand. Part of the problem is the absence of affordable training institutes, particularly in rural areas. Given the success that we have had in delivering primary education, one logical step is to apply these methods to secondary education, including skills training. Our vocational skilling programs are among our most rapidly growing initiatives, and we are excited about expanding them further.